opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program host and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by TCN TV Network Incorporated. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos may contain content copyrighted by another entity or person. The TCN TV Network claims no rights to the said content. TCN TV Network cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. TCN TV Network is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this program.
It's insanity. But we're in an insane system. And everybody in the system, including the victims of it, of the system of white supremacy, is insane. We've all been made out of balance. We're out of balance with what? With the way that everything should be. There's no people on this planet who are the quality of people that people should be. And the biggest deterrent to people becoming the way that people ought to be and should have been in the first place is the system of white supremacy. Mm-hmm. It's the thing that gets in the way of everything. You can't have the type of world that we should have nowhere on this planet as long as the system of white supremacy is in place. Why? It's because it's designed deliberately to make people be, both white people and non-white people, be the type of people that people should never be.
Okay.
And you.
Watch the pose. See the pose?
I do. I see it.
Welcome everybody to Here to Help You. Welcome. Yeah, I'm pose up today. Oh my goodness, sorry. We're not supposed to smile because we're supposed to be screw face the entire show. So I want to welcome everybody here to help you.
You see my voice?
I know, the screw face, your face must be on perma screw when you're talking about racism and white supremacy.
Perma screw.
So I want to welcome everybody back and thank you. And again, if you're on our YouTube channel, definitely click that little red button underneath that says subscribe. If you have a comment, I would love for you to leave a comment because listen, obviously we want to hear everybody, whether it's a good comment or bad comment, we want to hear what you have to say. You know, but we're not here for everybody. Not everyone's going to like what we do and how we deliver our information. But those who do, share it. Share the information because knowledge is power. Actually, knowledge is
half
of it.
Right.
You have to take action after as
there
well.
There we go, right?
Right? So before I actually introduce the host with the most, Mr. Dave Rankin.
You want me to get that new names?
You're always the host with the most. That was always your name.
Alongside the done it.
Yeah, yes. So I want to quickly address, you're not going to get too much of my time, but I'm going to quickly address a comment that was put up on our show last week about, I don't know the exact wording, but the said person was like, how can we take you seriously when you're joking? There is no joking, which is hence the title of my show, White Supremacy, No Joking Matter. Because unlike Dave, I do sometimes have some things to say when people come with their ignorance and their stupidness.
You see,
so,
here's the thing, right? And what we're looking to do simply, right, is to continue to contribute,
yes,
right, promote and support, right, the ideals which are here listed. Here, we'll do this over here first, right, in this book right here, right. and then of course we'll get back over here in a moment, right? What's happening in this book right here, right, is that it's the only work of its kind where we, not just us as Africans here in the diaspora, but everybody from all cultures can look to now eliminate this system called white supremacy.
Because it's a system.
Right.
And people have to understand that. This is not an individual person or an individual race. It might be more of one race why it's called white supremacy, but it's happening. And it's a system. And this is what we need to bring to mind. And if you are active watchers, you didn't even let me finish. You see, you tried to sway us from that?
No, I didn't sway. There's no sway.
Homie, look, listen, I laugh because I laugh. That is just who I am. If you watch any of our shows, this is the kind of banter that me and my host with the most have, okay? I don't need to be sitting here screw-fierce to talk about an issue just because you want to be angry about it. You stay in your emotions about it. I'm out of that. I'm teaching. So just share the damn show. Stop running your mouth. All right, let's do this, boo. Done.
Are you sure?
I'm done now.
Yeah?
I have to make sure he's going to probably say something. And if you did, then you're watching our show. Share it. Okay. Thank you. Let's move into this, boo. Let's teach us, oh wise one.
Oh, really? Thank you very much. So, as we set out to do from last week's show, is that we're looking at tackling each and one of the 9 areas of people of activity, which are listed here. And once again, this lovely piece of work.
Can you read the name of this really long, exaggerated title?
Sure thing. It's the United Compensatory Concept / System Code. Right?
Compensatory?
Yeah,
What does that word
compensatory.
mean?
Well, compensatory, he defines compensatory simply as a law, all right, and more importantly, a law of nature, right?
Okay.
When you toil the soil, right, they toil the soil, right? The compensation now is simply the fruits of your labor, right? Whatever it is that you plant, like for instance, now when your parents like to go ahead and plant the seeds for of course, the vegetable garden,
Yes.
right? The compensation, of course, is, the lovely kale and the lettuce and the cabbage and so on and so forth.
That we get to consume?
There we go.
Got it.
Right? So that's what compensatory
Compensatory means. Okay.
right?
Let's dig into this one today.
All right, so we're looking at simply tackling the third area, which happens to be the area of entertainment, right? Mind you, everything that is suggested today, and especially in this book, which we are reading the notes from, once again, are simply suggestions,
All right.
right? I don't want anybody that feels, they have to do this, because really and truthfully, you don't have
You
to,
don't have to do anything.
right? You can continue to as is. If you find a better way to do this, by all means, go ahead and share it.
Share it.
Because at the end of the day, right, we need to know to go ahead and actually tackle this thing, right? And we need to know how to go ahead and beat this thing,
Yes.
right? For well over 1,000 years, we'll be under the heel of white supremacy racism, right? So, I mean, by means, if you got a better way to go ahead and tackle the system, let us know, right? So, the area of entertainment, he defines entertainment simply as the art of enjoying anything, whether it's good or constructive or deconstructive,
Got it.
bad, right? So there's suggestions, and when, of course, by means, when anybody goes up to the Search Neely Fuller and he talks about, of course, entertainment, he likes to use the words very clear-cut situations, right? In regards to simply the area of entertainment, right? There's one example where he simply uses as heroin, right? For some people, it is a
That
form
is
of entertainment, right?
Absolutely.
They get the joy from it. Whether it's this case, of course, we all know, of course, the deconstruction, right? Because it is a deconstructive method, right?
You're smiling too much talking about this. You need to take down that smile. Just saying.
Anyways, right? But I mean, for those who haven't read the book, by means, pick it up. I'm happy that, that he is able to go and actually, as you like to say, fly the gate. This book is now, we're now able to go ahead and actually purchase this book and have it delivered here in Canada, in the
nice.
UK as well. At one point in time, it wasn't possible,
Allowed. Okay.
right?
That's nice.
So, with that being said, slide number 1. As you mentioned before, there are 9 areas of major activity or people activity, right? Simply they are economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, right? Politics, religion, sex, and war. Mind you, we're not following any order. Simply, whatever comes to mind, simply we're going to present it to the people,
Okay.
right? We've missed out on economics first because it's a very large topic,
Oh, Lord.
right? However, though, there are suggestions and things that I would like to go ahead and put in that do need to take some time.
Okay.
Right?
Let's do it. Let's dig into it.
Well, we're approaching our first break, so let's go ahead and
I was
actually.
cussing off people for so long?
Yes, you were.
Okay, so when we get back, we're gonna jump into entertainment, and we're gonna continue to deconstruct Neely Fuller's book, The United Independent
Compensatory Code System
Concept.
Go on with it.
Here on Here to Help You.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Welcome back. You know what I'm trying to do? No.
The
I'm
things
just
that
trying
you
to
do
share
during the
everything.
break, right?
I know. I'm sorry. I was really trying to share. Welcome back, everybody, to Here to Help You. So let's get right into it because we have a lot of stuff to go through.
Yeah,
So
you know,
let's do this.
in the original book, which was originally purchased in the 60s, the last revision of this original title was in 1984. This actual chapter is a very short one, only 4 pages, right? But once again, packed with like loads and loads of goodness, right? For instance, slide number 2, it begins the chapter by saying, when possible, avoid all forms of entertainment that requires that you be directly involved with others. It is very interesting. I know, because it continues on to say, go into right into slide 2A, and we're going to explain this, right? When possible, seek to entertain yourself alone, minimize and or eliminate all unnecessary time spent in the company of others for the purposes of entertainment. Now, originally, of course, you're looking right now like quite confused or perplexed in regards to why he would go ahead and say something like this.
Yeah, I need to hear a breakdown of this.
Right? He says here that under the system of white supremacy / racism, non-white people usually spend too much time, energy, and money entertaining each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They spend too much time in each other's company doing too many things that produce little of constructive value.
That's
right?
why.
And this is why he would go ahead and start the chapter. Right?
Okay, got it. Now I get it.
Right. He continues to say that such such contact usually serve to do little more than promote animosity, conflict, show-offism,
It's true.
right, dishonesty, gossip, and other
Very
forms.
true. Which are one of his 9 deadly stops, or his 9 stops.
Well,
One of them.
The 10 basic stops. Come to class more often,
I have to come to class more often.
True
I skipped
thing.
a few.
I
Sorry.
know. Slide number 3. Do not engage in sexual intercourse and or sexual play as a means of showing off. Quite simple, right? Stop it. Right? As long as white supremacy exists, no non-white person should ever do anything for the purposes of showing off, right? And especially sex, which we'll dive into because sex is a totally something else.
Like
right?
the Instagram girls who are just showing ass. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, because
all
it's-
these girls who do their ass shots to the camera.
Right.
That's like just showing off.
There's no constructive
There's nothing
value.
constructive for it.
Right, and especially in the area of entertainment, especially since we're under this beast, it doesn't help us.
Right.
Right?
Cover your ass.
3A, under conditions dominated by racism, it is correct for non-white persons to engage in sexual intercourse only with each other and only for one or more of the following 3 purposes: the production of offspring, right? The improvement of communications,
Okay.
right? And minimizing the amount of time / energy spent thinking about and or planning for sexual intercourse.
Oh, so if you have a person you're having sex with, just like stick with that because it keeps you out of trouble from going and like digging out the rest of the world.
That's one way, especially for
looking at it.
show-offisms,
For show offism.
right?
So the guys who are like, yo, guy, been with her, yo, I've been with her, I've been with her. It's not constructive.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Right? Because, I mean, it doesn't help us in regards to what it is that we need to do to go ahead and eliminate racism.
I'm starting to understand what he means by entertainment more now.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
get it.
not, of course, like, it's not clear in regards to, like, what we would normally think it to be.
I thought it was like movie stars,
Movie,
like hip-hop,
right.
music,
Mind you,
videos. I know that's included, but
It is included, but it's a small part.
right.
Right. I mean, when we've taught, and I say we, big up Shaduzi, because when him and
Big up
I,
yourself.
right, when we've taught this, right, we normally use the media portion of the entertainment so that we can go into, of course, what he's talking about.
Right.
Right. Because of course, if the images that we see, they continue to go ahead and foster these thought patterns.
Real Housewives of Atlanta.
That's one image, right? It's not the only one that's out there, but mine means it's one of many.
Not constructive.
Right? Slide number 4. Do not gloat, cheer, and or express gladness about the death and or injury of any person, animal, etc.
I don't know who would do this.
Well, I mean,
Who glorifies when someone dies? Who does this?
there are people out there that do.
Seriously?
Hell yeah.
Like, how do you?
How do you
because
gloat?
somehow
How do you
this will
glorify?
turn into me laughing. So
Stop. Right? Death and or injury is never a reason to rejoice. To celebrate the
No.
death and or injury of any person or animal, etc., is unjust and incorrect.
absolutely.
Right? It is incorrect to regard killing and or maiming as entertainment. Right? Hunting
Okay, I have a question about
for
this.
sport.
How about fighting?
Well, he gets into that as well.
Oh no, because I like UFC and boxing.
Right?
all
Slide
at
number
the same
5. Do not
time.
kill or maim for the purposes of entertainment or sport.
Oh, so I can't watch UFC anymore.
It's well, you know what? Like, it's going to be tough to come off something like this, especially when we're looking at it as constructive entertainment, which is towards the upliftment.
Okay, because I can see where this would be an issue. I know that that slave owners used to have our men fight each other sometimes to the death. Yes,
Well,
as a
and
source of entertainment.
right, and we'll get into that. Right.
Okay.
He states that for the reasons here, he goes, any person who kills or injures any creature for the primary purpose of providing entertainment or sport is guilty of promoting injustice, right, and as well as incorrectness.
Yeah.
Right. Now, there's a chapter in the book by means we haven't gotten to it yet, right? But he does say here, except for counter-racist educational purposes, right? And this just leads to the chapter leading towards war, right? Which we'll get into another day, right?
Okay.
Do not support, participate in, and or be a paying spectator to any form of entertainment or sport which has its basic objective to the glorification of the white nation.
So I can't watch boxing anymore.
Well, if we're looking at it from, of course, the constructive value, then no, it's not. And by means, if you know me already, I'm a huge fan of boxing. It was once called the gentleman art of self-defense, right? But we look at it in regards to the historical purposes, like you just said just a while ago,
Yeah.
right? On the plantation, right? Plantation owners, they had their prize fighters.
Yeah.
I know that many fights did not have, of course, they didn't fight to the death, but still, they were bet on, right? Just like today.
now, Just like now.
Right, and of course, when they were bet on, by means, and their prize fighter won, all the spoils were given to this prize fighter.
Women, alcohol,
You name it.
money.
You name it. Definitely, you name it.
Got
Right?
it.
I mean, it's tough. It is because we're going to go into some other things as well that we see as entertainment. That by means, when it comes to constructive value, it's
It brings us nothing.
exactly
Okay.
right. Continue on. There's a book called Black Ajax. Right? It's written by George MacDonald Fraser. Right? And it's the rise and fall of the real life boxer named Tom Milano. And I hope I said this correctly. Right? He's a Virginia slave who fought his way to freedom and then, of course, to celebrity in England during the early 1800s.
All right.
Right? So, I mean, this story now by means, it once again goes into what we just said just a while ago. Right? The prize fighting and so on and so forth. Right? We can see more of that as well as Mandingo. This movie that you and we have to watch sometime.
Mandingo.
Mandingo. Yes. It's made in 1975. But
do
once
wanna
again,
watch it.
right, it shows and it depicts us in the same manner. Well, we have all the overseers, so to speak. Right? They're looking at, of course, brothers go ahead and beat themselves up. Right? for the purposes of sport, for the purposes of their entertainment.
Okay.
Right? So I mean, like it's tough. It is, and especially you watch movies like Django,
Yeah.
right? Which is probably a little bit more recent and more vivid in for us,
Very.
right?
Yeah.
Which shows, of course, the depiction of what
that looked like.
exactly,
What that actually looked like.
right? And I don't know. I mean, for anybody right now who's probably thinking of why, it's the same thing. Like, so weird. So I can't watch this. I can't do this.
Because
and
I get
I can't
it,
do that.
though.
Right?
I get it.
Yeah, because like the end of the day, right? When we look at the energy spent,
Yeah.
right? And that's what we look at the focusing on. I'm telling you this right now. If we, as Africans, right, all of us collectively, if we spent more energy, right, in putting into a system of our own, or even following this book here, right, to go ahead and eliminate white supremacy, racism,
We'd be a lot further.
of course, there'd be no need to go ahead and go to the government, right, for our problems. There'll be no need to go ahead and, like, some of these well-off established organizations who actually look for the grant in order to keep their business afloat. There'd be no need. Let's take it now to the fact that when I don't know if you remember this, the lady who was called a nigger by one of the members of the New York school trustee.
Yeah.
Right? And
yeah.
all the organizations, well, not all, but majority of them remain silent.
Oh, because their hands in the government's pocket.
Yes,
Can't talk. You'll lose that.
exactly. Right?
Take this money.
The
do that.
African Canadian Legal Clinic, with all their troubles they've been going through, documented for over 20 years. There'd be no need.
Yeah.
Right? But once again,
talk.
right? I mean, of course, it comes down to the energy spent. And that's exactly what
That's
he's.
what it is about.
There you go.
Okay.
Right? Let's take another break.
Okay, time for. Listen, see how I'm caught up in this? All up in your conversation. All right, definitely before we go on break, I want to say again to everybody, if you're watching this, definitely click that red button below to subscribe. Like, if you don't like it, then don't press like, but share this out, comment, and when we come back, we're going to continue to dig into the United Independent Compensatory Code System concept written by Mr. Neely Fuller Jr. himself. See you guys soon.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. May your dreams all come true. Happy birthday to you.
We refuse to promote, report on anything negative in the community.
Hello everyone, my name is Jermaine Chambers, and I'm very excited to tell you about the newest political and current affairs program coming here to Brampton. It's called On Point.
The first step of true reconciliation is learning more about one another.
Join us on Tuesdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. as we discuss all the issues.
I will never forget the trust you put in me.
Municipal, provincial, federal, and any issue of national importance, we will talk about on Point. So do join us.
But see, black people are expected to be the entertainment committee. Always. And usually they go for the black females. You people know how to entertain. Get out here and entertain us. You are the minstrel show people. And we'll stand back and watch. And we'll participate on the periphery. But you're supposed to be the center stage people when it comes to entertaining the emperors of Rome. the emperors of the system of white supremacy and their mistresses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's the trashiness part. And then if they try to improve on the trashiness, what happens? It goes to the terroristic part. And that same thing has permeated what we call black culture. Tacky, trashy, terroristic. And this has become characteristic not only of white culture in their interaction with non-white people, but with...
Peace and love, family. We back.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to Here to Help You on my TCN TV network. So we are diving deep into white supremacy. No joking matter. All right, entertainment. So, by the way, that means you could watch us because we're constructive.
Ooh, constructive, very much so.
Just saying. And I can still be entertaining. Does Neely Fuller say anything about laughing?
You know, as you say that, the gentleman who left a comment, he left a actual quote from the revised copy of this book, right? Which stated that anybody who laughs, and especially under the system of white supremacy, right, simply is known that this is no laughing matter, right? So I mean, like, it's again, people have expectations because of how the subject matter should be presented.
Okay.
Right.
I understand and respect that.
And like, of course, by means.
I respect that. I do.
Right. I mean, as our job, our job is not only to make sure, of course, the information is clear and understandable, right? And it has to be dissected for the viewers, right, in very spoonful bits, right?
Yeah, but
and
we don't have to be dry.
If we need to go to sprinkle bits of comedy around it, so by means, of course, it is a lot more palatable. The by means, like, that's what we need to do.
I feel like this man likes to eat his beetroot just like with no salt. Beer beet.
But you see, like, once again, like, this is what happens, of course, under the system. Right? Under the system now, of course, and you said it before, because of the system, right? White supremacy, right? Our interaction with each other sucks.
Yeah.
Right? We don't simply know how to go and interact with each other.
Communication's off.
Very. Yeah. Because, of course, we've been, as you said before, in survival mode for so long.
So long. Yeah.
Right?
Surviving.
Right? So, I mean, like, I can understand, and I respect homie's position. And I do, all right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not going to go ahead and stop or deter us from going and do what we need to do and how we do it. But by means, like, the end of the day, I hope people can go ahead and actually pick out the information, right? I understand, and once again, that it is contributing, right? It is supporting, and it is also promoting, right, the elimination of white supremacy racism.
Which I'm doing all three of, yes?
Yes, we are.
So leave me alone.
Slide number 6, please. Right? Stop acting as if you should be the entertainment committee when in the presence of white supremacy, or white people, that is.
I like this one.
Yeah. Right? I mean,
like shucky and driving.
Yeah.
Wrap the foot. Wrap the foot.
Especially.
Wrap the foot.
Especially the wrap the foot.
The wrap the foot.
Oh my goodness.
Dave off.
Yes, it did. It did.
Dave?
I didn't understand how 4 grown men took time off of whatever work they were supposed to, whatever labor. I said, "By you, here we are going down town and a big old Union Square, youth. I'm gonna do this that's called the wrap the foot." Right? I could understand if it was like weddy, you know what I'm saying? And the man would just throw off a new dance called the wrap the foot.
Now,
where is it? Where is it? Tell me, where is it?
But it's interesting because white people picked it up quickie.
Yes.
And they started saying wrap tour foot. And that wasn't how it was. Wrap the foot.
Well, still, it don't matter.
They're Raptor foot. Raptor foot.
You can't excuse their pronunciation, right? Because I mean, they are prim and proper under the Queen's English, right?
Raptor foot. Raptor foot. I'm like, it's not. We don't say the whole. We never say the whole word. So come on.
Well, that's another story for another time, right? But I mean, the reason explanation for what's behind that slide is that if they are racist, they'll be laughing at you and not with you.
With you, absolutely.
Right? I mean, shoot, we were all laughing at the wrap the foot gentleman.
I was dying at wrap the foot in mine. I was like, this guy's serious.
Right, but more importantly, we can see this now, of course, in media, especially in film culture. How many movies out there, like I said, we are the comedic relief?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I mean,
man dressing like Oman. Yeah, like there's so much.
It's crazy.
So much.
Stephen A. Smith, to me, he's comedic relief for me.
Who's Stephen A. Smith?
He's those are out there, in ESPN. He's a sports commentator.
Okay.
Right, and who's in total support of like so many things that are very questionable to us. right? But I mean, like, he's one of those guys who actually fit the description, especially under this slide.
Okay.
Right? I found this quote, Dr. Darren Smith, his website. It says here, as Dates and Barlow stated, images in the mass media are infused with color-coded positive and negative moralistic features. Once these symbols become familiar and accepted, they fuel misperceptions and perpetuate misunderstanding among the races. Right? Film best captures our imagination, often over reality. Thus, it grasps our societal perceptions of black men through misrepresentations of them on the big screen. Right?
So is it kind of like the whole with Training Day, how that's the one time a black man wins an Oscar is for being a drug dealer?
And he gets shot in the ass on top of that.
The ass?
He gets shot in the ass on top of that. The man, he gets shot
in his body.
In his bottom.
Yeah. And then Halle Berry was a whore.
And she gets
she was a bedwench.
You know,
and she wins an Oscar for that.
You know, and like these things, you know, like, but I mean, you know, like those of us who are hip to the game, we understand what's going on.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, the shooting at the bottom is simply no different from anal sex.
Wow, you took it there,
because that's exactly what it's symbolizing.
Okay. Okay.
Right? And those who are hip to the game, they understand
they get
this.
That. Okay. All
right? Some of the earliest form of characters that we know of, coons, right, as we call them, Step and Fetch It. For those who don't know, are very, of the new millennials. By means, look up Step and Fetch It.
Step and Fetch It.
Yes.
Blackface.
Yes. You know, Willie D from Ghetto Boys, he's got a song called Coon.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello. Is the frog not supposed to be a black person?
See, there we go. Right?
And he's shucking and jiving.
You know, another character that we can go ahead and relate to was, you remember Damon Wayans' character in Living Color, the gentleman that was in jail, Oswald Bates?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's classified as a zip coon, right? And the character is a minstrel archetype character, first introduced in the mid-19th century, right? He's defined by his overly grandiose speech and pattern, and his use of paromesia and malpropriism, which simply is when we misuse the misuses of words.
So the colloquy of the how you say cornucopanoia, like that.
Exactly.
Isn't that how he spoke?
That's exactly what it is.
That shit was hilarious to me.
Yeah, and it's terrible, right? But mine's, you know, like, and the purposes of entertainment in the grand scheme of things, right?
Yeah.
As you know what, it's hard enough when regards to what we go through on a day-to-day basis. So I can understand why because we all did it, and we're all guilty of in regards to tuning into this buffoonery.
Absolutely.
So that we cannot think of the day-to-day things.
The surviving.
Right? And I get it.
That's how they get us.
But, yeah.
It.
Because could you imagine being serious 24/7, day in and day out? Right? That type of militancy, that type of energy that is needed to become that type of militant.
Yeah.
But once again, you know, if we spend a lot more time fielding or going towards that shift in energy and becoming a little more disciplined, right? In regards to what it is our intake may be.
Yes.
Right? How further along would we be? Right? I know we got a minute left, right? And by means, this next thing is going to really piss people off, right? And I like it because, you know, at the end of the day, can we go ahead and put up slide 7, right? Listen to music and avoid listening to noise. Right? Yeah.
All that tripe.
Do me a favor, you know, and we'll come back to an explanation after the break. But Selena, the video number 5, the only 2 types of sound in the universe, could we go ahead and play that as we go into break?
See you guys soon. Oh boy.
All you have to do to determine whether you're listening to music or noise is think about while you're listening, what you are inspired to do or say, and whether that's something that you are inspired to do or say is constructive or destructive. Now, I'm saying all of that to say there's no such thing as black people's music, white people's music, and this kind of people's music, short people's music, tall people's music. No. It's either music or it's noise. And you can instantly tell whether it is or it isn't by what you think about when you hear it. Now, if you hear some sounds that inspire you to go and get a 9mm and run up and down the street killing people, you were listening to noise.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
So actually, I have a comment. That's why I'm looking at this, Dave. So what about, the comment came in, and the comment said, what about Asian supremacy? They are 10 times worse. Islamist supremacists who have killed over 1 million blacks in Africa over the last decade. Mm-hmm. Person said, investigate. Media is covering it up. So, thank you. I'm not going to call out your name because I don't think you may want me to. But I appreciate you sending that in, those comments. We really do. Mm-hmm. So, what do you have to say about that?
You know, there's one area in our history that a lot of us, we failed to go ahead and tackle, or like, and it needs to be go ahead and constructed, right? Is the Arab slave trade.
The Arab slave trade, yes.
Which was before, you know, what we now know is, of course, the genocide of Ma'afa, right? Mind you, the Arab slave trade served as a basis, right, for the Vatican, right, to go ahead and allow the Portuguese and the Spaniards to go ahead and have set their foothold on the continent, right?
Which is why Egypt looks the way it does right now.
Yeah, I mean, mind you, you know, that's late. They're definitely late coming, you know,
yeah.
The 7th century from on, right? But it is a subject that simply needs to be go ahead and fully dissected.
I think we should do it.
Right. It is an actual, and even to this day, in regards to now the peopling of Northeast Africa, right? I'm not even just talking Egypt or Kemet. Let's talk about the people of Libu, which is now known as Libya, or the Sea Peoples, right? And how, of course, they've turned from black to brown to damn near white as well, right? When you look at, of course, the Berbers, who are also a specific people from Libya, right? And how we know them to be now, right? The Moors, in fact, they have a lineage coming out of Libya, right, as well. So by means, you know, like, it is a subject that needs to be tackled.
Into. Okay.
Right. When we're looking at the Asian supremacy, quote unquote, right? We're looking at simply from a financial standpoint, right? Because when you look at it, right, they're looking at everything simply comes down to their dollar and economics. That's why they can go in and sell plastic for food, right? Because it comes down to cheap production, and of course, in returns, of course, that production turning buku dollars, so to speak, right? So by means, you know, this is a subject that needs to be tackled, right, in its entirety, because at the end of the day, and by means, we've been weakened because, of course, we've been tackling a lot of people on so many fronts, different cultures, on so many fronts.
Consistently.
Yes. You know, invaders, you know, our own people,
yeah,
as well, you know, who can smile in our face and then go around and turn around and stab us in our back. You know, like, we're strong as a people because we've endured so much, and there's still so much more that we have to do as a people.
Yeah.
Right. And this is one of the things which is contributing towards that. Right. Another thing that we need to do as well is have more conversations so that we can go and place action plans. Don't have conversations to go and set up a meeting for another meeting. That's bullshit.
Let's have a meeting so we can set up another meeting to talk about the same shit.
It's bullshit. You're just delaying whatever action it needs to be, right? It's time for us to act. It's time for us to put some things in practice, so that way, you know, look, a lot of us here in this generation are climbing up the mountain, right? And our elders are going down the mountain, right? They need us to go ahead and make sure that we become the mantle in regards to what they've left for us, right? Let alone for us, for those of us behind us who are slowly creeping up the mountain along with us, right? So by means, these are conversations that we need to have. That's all I got to say.
I've never heard Dave rant. That's not really a rant, though.
I'm not ranting.
That wasn't rant. That was some straight up talk.
Yeah,
but
for real.
I only say rant because there is some emotion in it. There's some bass in your voice
Cuidado.
when you're talking about it. That's all.
So we ended the break and talking about listening to music and avoiding noise. To put it simply, music is simply something that inspires you to go do something constructive. Right? If you listen to a love song and inspire you to go out and love more, love better, then by means it's constructive.
This is why 90s hip hop and 90s music was, they're all talking, turn off the light.
Well, I mean, that's prior to the time, right? Right? That's prior to 90s.
All them things.
Right? Mind you, there's some 90s music that was very influential in regards to inspiration.
Yes.
Let's look at Public Enemy and how inspiring their music was.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
Politically charged, yes, but very much inspirational.
Yes.
Right? The noise simply, of course, like Nini Fuller said, is any and everything that allows you to go there and do some dumb shit.
Like?
Name something. Shooting up Caravana. Shooting up Kitty Caravana.
Shooting up any place that there's a lot of people because you have
the NBA parade.
Like,
I wonder what song inspired that to happen.
yeah, what made you, was it 50? 50? Was it you? 50 Cent? Because everyone thinks that they're gangster. Like, what song? Or was it a reggae song? What was it?
I have no clue. But by means, these are the things that we need to go to look at because we need to go ahead and do better.
There's a song I'm thinking about with Cardi B that I just get really annoyed when I hear it.
It's okay. It's probably all of them, but that's all right.
Yeah, it is all of them.
Right. 8, and this is also going to go ahead and piss a lot of people off. Avoid helping to promote beauty contests.
Sorry, Instagram hoes.
No, it's not even just
if
that.
If this was Neely Fuller's world, you'd be out.
Not even just that. Look at the Miss America.
Yep.
Miss Universe.
Yep.
I mean, mind you, I'm surprised there isn't a Mr. America or a Mr. Universe as of yet. But by means, it's still, what does it do for us?
Oh my God, finally there's 3 black beauty contests. And what has this done for our movement? And she had an afro, so... Oh my God, that's so incredible.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, so it's... I don't know, man. I mean, we got a lot of shit to sift through. And part of my expression, because I know my babies out there, they're listening to them, big up my nieces and nephews, because, I mean, we do this not only just for them, but, of course, we do it for people who simply are unable to go out and obtain this book, right? Who aren't able to go out and fight for themselves, who know how to go out and fight, right? The reason explanation behind that last slide, it is incorrect to attempt to contest beauty. Beauty is a revelation of truth and the promotion of justice and correctness.
Yes. Yes.
Plain and simple.
Yes, not your ass.
That don't help. Well, it may help, in regards to
with the procreation,
right? Right.
Yes.
But I mean,
not on display though.
Don't get me wrong. Everybody's got the role to play.
Yeah, but harlot will be a harlot. They were then some back there and then too. So
right.
Everyone does have a role.
Everybody's got a role to play. But by means, we still got to learn how to do better.
Yeah.
Right. Where am I? Slide 9. And this is known as slide 9 and slide 9A. Do not promote or participate in any part of a social gathering for purposes of fun or entertainment in which more than 2 persons are present. Always make sure that one of those persons is yourself and the other is a non-white person of opposite or complementary sex. This is huge. Because all the fact we love to go to, and by means, in our society in this day and age, I understand why we have so many parties. I had this conversation once again with Asad Malik the other day. So we had it around Canada Day. Right? And he asked me the question, so how do we over here as Africans and Afro-Caribbean, so to speak, right? How do we look at it Canada Day, especially knowing this history behind it, right? Remember, it's the separation from, of course, the motherland, so to speak, in their eyes, in this case, England, right? So how do we look at that? I told him, listen, we don't really look at it anyways. What we do is throw parties.
That's pretty much it. Canada Day celebration.
Right? I mean, Caravana is lost its luster because, of course, by means, all the things that we've done.
Yeah, and some of the foolishness we've done. Shooting up places.
Okay, yeah, but look at the mismanagement of funds was led to, of course, big name corporations have taken over. Right? 1968, the 60s were a tumultuous time, right? And 1968 was, in fact, when Caravana was
started.
Exactly.
Yeah.
right? And it's in its exception. Of course, it was the promotion of this culture.
Culture,
A
Caribbean
rich
culture.
exactly, right?
Yeah.
And by means, what has evolved to now?
Nakedness. Everything that Neely Fuller says you should be doing for entertainment, Caravana is. Everything. The sex, the gathering for strippiness, the music, everything. It's almost like saying Caravana is now a big waste of time. People
Basically.
get vexed, but it's a big waste of time because what is it doing to further us? How it looks now. I'm not talking about in 1968. Talking about right now.
Yeah, I mean,
How is it furthering us? And in 1968, was it furthering us either?
I mean, like we look at different times at that point in time in regards to race relations as well.
All right.
Right. I mean, we had the sense to go ahead and then promote something, establish something, right? So that we can go ahead and now and instill that type of pride.
So I have a question before we end off, because there's an elephant that's in the room. Shout outs to LA Elephant Room, Friday, 4 o'clock. What if you have a white friend?
I'm going to choose my words carefully.
Okay, but
Right.
it's real because a lot of us do. We have friends who are non-white.
You mean white?
White.
Yes. Okay. So our friends are our friends for a number of reasons, right? And we normally see the goodness in our friends.
Yes.
That's why, of course, we remain friends,
Yes.
right? But our friends need to understand, right? And by means, if they are not promoting, right, not contributing, right, to the realms of white supremacy, racism, then it's okay.
Good.
Right? Because by means, there are white people out there who fight
With
the good
us.
fight.
Yeah, they do.
Big up Penny Hess,
Big up Penny.
who's been fighting this fight longer than some of us have been born.
Yep.
Right? And mind you, I can't even fathom the amount of disrespect she takes.
Probably enough. We
Let alone from
it's
people who look like her than people who look like us.
Us. Yeah, man.
Right? But Nini Fuller has always said that white people, in regards to who do not practice white supremacy, have life hard.
Yeah, man.
Because, of course, those white supremacists make it hard for them.
Yes.
Right? So by means, I'm not telling anybody that they don't have any friends from any other cultures, right? Because, having friends from other cultures and learning from these people makes the world go round.
Yeah, man. And it enhances your knowledge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, like if your friends are supporting white supremacy, right? If they're helping to promote white supremacy, if they're helping to contribute to white supremacy, then you have to go ahead and take a look in the mirror and understand why are you still friends with these people?
Why are you shucking and jiving still? All right, our time's up, unfortunately.
Not unfortunate. We did what we need to do today.
Thank you, Dave.
No worries.
Honestly, you taught me again. I'm loving this. Like, I'm appreciating the work that you're putting in. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on Here to Help You. If you have any questions at all, please feel free. You can email me at simone@care101.com. You can email Dave at dave@care101.com, or you can reach us at our handles above here on Instagram at IR Dave Rankin or at Simone Jennifer Smith. You can also find us at MyTCN TV on Instagram. You guys have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for What Matters with the beautiful Erica. Everyone love Look Panar.
Peace and love, family.
What Matters, you guys have a wonderful
Big up, J-Bo.
evening.
Happy birthday, J-Bo.
Big up yourselves. Happy Tuesday.